Welcome to New World Communications, where we provide intelligent communications for our 21st century world. And where we deliver the timely mission-critical learning a new world needs. My name is Imani Jones, and I am your avatar assistant today. Today, we'd like to share with you information about us, what we do, and why we do it. Now about us. Art Johnson, our founder, is our CEO and Chief Learning Officer. Here's a bit of Art Johnson's backstory. He received his MA from the University of California in Berkeley. He is a former instructor of politics and ethnic studies in the San Francisco Bay Area. He became a broadcast industrial television systems sales engineer. Art then became a VP of marketing and sales for high-end computer graphics workstations, and this landed him as an Apple business development manager in Seattle. Then all this experience landed Art at KCTS Public Television in Seattle, serving as a KCTS Learning Services project manager, supporting teachers and their students in over 100 K-12 public school districts, private schools, and homeschooling groups across Washington state, as well as Boeing aerospace engineers continuing their education from their places of work over a hybrid microwave fiber optics television network. That is until Art was smitten by a whole newly emergent world of internet-based communications and online learning. During his 5th year at KCTS Public Television, and after being smitten by this newly emergent world of internet-based communications and online learning and what mastery of it promised, Art experienced a call deep from within. To leverage the wisdom of generations. To address critical lifelong issues. To succeed using new technology innovatively and entrepreneurially. And to serve humanity and our planet well in more timely and impactful ways. Thank you for letting me share with you a little bit about New World Communications via our founder Art Johnson's backstory, and what he had on his mind and in his heart, right before the launch of New World Communications. Now here's Art himself talking about the company's vision, its mission, what we do now and why we do it.
Thank you, Imani. This is really great. It's really, really fun working with new AI-assisted avatars and working with AI to help inform our online courses and other content. I really appreciate you giving me sharing a little bit about our backstory and what really drove us, our call from within, to really do something different with what we do, our content on YouTube and our online learning. And we'd been informed by the wisdom of whole generations of ancient wisdom, new thought, new scientific and psychological and philosophical discoveries. And we want to leverage all of that in what we do in really practical, understandable ways. And that really helps us do. And we're using new technology entrepreneurially and innovatively to address the critical issues of the world in really interesting ways. We're seeing all challenges as opportunities in disguise. And we're going to show you why we do what we do, how we do it, and invite you to join us as we transform the planet. So without further ado, here's my website, and I'll give you a little tour. So this is New World Communications in year 2024. We launched in 1997 after we designed an early prototype for a web-based classroom. We had taught ourselves HTML and digital media enough to make a website and to really form a concept and once we had that in our minds and in our hearts, you couldn't keep us at the station any longer. So this is New World Communications. You can find us at newworldcom.com. And this is our own website build, by the way. We started with Google Apps, which became Google Workplace and Workspace, I believe. And this is really rapidly doable here. in terms of doing this. So we use this whole application to rapidly develop this website. If you want to know more about us, you can go to our About Us stage and get more information on our background and our evolution. Not only our technological evolution, but our conscious evolution, which is really important, particularly as we start walking through the virtual door and realize that we have a whole new virtual world of possibility and hybrid world possibilities to do what we're doing. So you can do that. You can also go over here and there's a whole menu of our online services here that you can really look at. And what's really new is we developed the New World Learning Institute and Conference Center way back in 2020. A friend of ours and colleague, Bettina Carey, came to me and said, Johnson, you've been helping me do these physical world events, empowerment summits in hotels, and it cost me a lot of money. Now we got to do this online because COVID prevents me from doing anything else. So can you help me? And I said, sure. How many months do we have? He said, how about weeks? And I can't believe this, but she's a real power person, and she had a really good audience of really of people that really wanted to learn how to do business online. And so in a few weeks, we ended up doing major all-day empowerment summits using Zoom and a third-party application, which got me to back to developing my own conferencing platform. This is the New World Learning Institute and Conference Center, and this is my own build. This is a brandable capability. So if you wanted to do this on your own website or whatever, we could support you with this. So we invite you to take our tour. Quickly, if you click on this, you can see that we are at a virtual lobby. By the way, we spent about almost a year on site at the Washington State Convention Center, just so we can learn what the business of physical world conferences and trade shows was like, with an eye to doing this either on completely on online way or streaming in a hybrid world way. So if you visit our thing, you'll see a virtual lobby. You can go to a virtual receptionist who can help you with the links to various meetings and codes and access codes. You can network with other people at a virtual lounge, which is fun. And by the way, this is all over Zoom, and we're using links here with Zoom and our website to do this. Or you can go to the virtual cafe if you're at a Starbucks and you have on your Starbucks card. You can get some beverage or some food to eat and do that. And then when things are ready to start, you can meet with the group of the whole in the virtual auditorium. And notice here that we have these rotating banners. These are actually advertising banners for sponsors. So this is a great way. Each one of those could be a banner that's a revenue generating banner that can actually help subsidize this whole event. And the content that we do and the audience that we're going to attract is going to make this very, very attractive to sponsors, particularly ones who want to have a better public image about dealing with climate and taking climate action in meaningful ways beyond mere greenwashing. And then after meeting of the whole and taking a break, maybe going to the virtual cafe or whatever, you can then go to the virtual meeting center, which has a bunch of meeting rooms. And if I click on here, you can see a virtual meeting room, and you can click here and join the link here. There's a calendar of events here that's like a Google Calendar that would have all the events here. We're not currently doing any events right now, so you don't see anything up here. But as soon as we do that, then they would be here, and you could also, access that information and maybe links to it even through that possibility here. Then you can, after attending that and having lunch, then you might then go to the virtual exhibition hall. And we'll actually do promotional videos. A video up here can go up here to say visit our booth. But we have all these booths here that would be a great way for you to be an exhibitor or if you are actually doing the show yourself and want to enjoy the revenue of all the booth revenue, then talk to us because we can help you do this. And so exhibitors can have their name here and collect leads and pitch their products and services and do all kinds of good things here. So that gives you some idea here of our virtual conferences and trade show. Now we're going to help you with developing that. Let me go back over here and show you. This will be a good time to go to our e-learning services and have you realize that we have many ways to make sure that when you get to this point, what you're going to do is going to be highly successful. Let's talk about, stop focusing on us. Let's focus on you and what's happening with you. We found that just about every business, large and small, from the smallest little micro business to the largest virtual enterprise on multiple continents, even has issues with knowing what to do, with focus on what their people need. And when you don't have focus and you're then investing time and money on certain things, you can lose a whole lot not being on point. So and we said that to ourselves. So we said, wow, what can we do here to really improve that situation? So we said, wow, we can do virtual focus groups and strategic planning for ourselves, and we can actually develop that into a really nice service that everybody that we know needs. So by doing this and using us, we can be on target and spot on with the people you serve, and that can help you get there and get back just by logging on and off, saving money, time, and our planet, because this is zero carbon footprint. You can meet online face to face with people you serve locally, regional, and even from across the planet by a very affordable, zero carbon footprint, eco-friendly advantage. And you can engage respondents in focused conversations that matter, that help inform and shape the policies, products, programs you do, and be on target and spot on with the people you serve, making gains and avoiding and reducing loss. And existing and prospective clients really appreciate reaching out to them and asking them questions. Hey, we're thinking about this, but what do you think? Have them weigh in what that which you're going to turn back around and provide to them, serve them well. So this is an ultra affordable approach that's way better than older think cost prohibitive physical world focused groups that could only be afforded by the largest companies. The smallest little company can do this, and we're using Zoom and Teams and whatever conferencing platform that's good for you. Zoom is very popular, and a lot of people have, because of COVID, have been doing stuff over Zoom. So we favor Zoom as a way of doing this, but we'll do it whatever your platform is. And this goes beyond just your internal enterprise. This can go to the world. So this is really one of our first services, in addition to our YouTube channel stuff. So people are likely to find us first by watching a YouTube video and saying, wow, I like what they're talking about. Boy, I like this programming. And we're using our programming in a way so you can get to know us, trust us, try some of the things that we're talking about, being the people we're served, and really being the social proof of people who are their lives are being transformed by who we are and what we do and the way we do it. So our YouTube programming and channel development service is really, really good. YouTube is really one of the most powerful communications medium owned by Google, and it carries a whole lot of weight. Actually, YouTube is the world's largest search engine next to Google itself. And there's a whole science to doing the kind of content that does it right. So we're learning it ourselves and turning around and developing a course called Using YouTube to Grow Business. And it'll deal with module one is about how to break the code. What's the real code, not just the algorithm, but the really understanding to how YouTube works and, how you can develop subscribers and that type of thing. And then model two is getting the content right. based on search criteria and working with these new tools that we've got. Wow, are they amazing? How to optimize what you do, your content. And this is an iterative program. You do it over time. It's not a sprint, but it's a long distance race that you get better and better the more videos that you do. And then you develop and expand and empower yourself and other people with your YouTube videos. So here's what the big model is that we're working with to, basically increase the value over time. We plan the series, help you plan the series, prepare production, deliver the value, and transact business. And so you succeed over time with right thinking and right action. So we really are loving our learning path. We really see the journey. We enjoy the journey of trying different things and making mistakes and tweaking our content. And that's the whole secret to these YouTube creators. They do a lot of giving up front for free. So you really start to like them. And then they offer online courses that make a whole lot of sense, that have a whole lot of value to get you where you need to go. So that's our YouTube. And then that kind of relates to, again, to workshops and courses for enterprise-wide transformation. So the idea is to train your people so eventually you can start to do this, even develop some of your own workshops. So the ones we're starting with is using Zoom to grow business, like we're doing right now. I'm doing this over Zoom, by the way, and using YouTube to grow your business. And we'll be adding more to this curriculum. We're developing a whole curriculum for a new world that is going to be AI assisted too. A lot of it will be on demand. So we can actually be continually developed and then have this at a more convenient time for you to take the courses and really spread the good news. So this is really fun. Then this gets us to, if you've been doing this and doing this by the time this, and you're really on point with what you do, the kind of programs you've been using, all this is being used to mobilize people. And that gets us to our mobilization campaign services, enlisting our entire suite of services across whole enterprises. And so we are leveraging the outcomes of online demand and real-time workshops and courses to do rapid mobilization campaigns that culminate in world-class virtual conferences and trade shows. And so here's a model. This is kind of tentpole marketing, they call it. And I want to, starts out with step one. These are all quality assurable steps, by the way, is to get enabled over Zoom or Teams. And we're so grateful to COVID because it forced everybody to start walking through the virtual door and meeting over Zoom and other platforms. And that's really helped us rapid forward. When people did that, immediately the carbon output in the world reduced, even though, people were suffering a little bit from the change. It was really amazing for the planet. And so we're using this stuff to continue. A lot of people, a lot of employees now want to work from home because they enjoyed this. It's more convenient and that they can actually be more productive working from home. And step two is to start doing business over this technology, uh, not only locally and regionally, but also across the planet in timely and cost-effective ways. And to be social, we use the technology to bring people together and socialize through really fun events, indoors and out events. And they use YouTube to leverage the learning outcomes of our online course to help people co-create some of their own YouTube programming themselves and share and socially learn with it. And this is really going to be fun. And then we're also going to be doing what we call virtual business casuals. Then we continue using technology to bring people together and socialize, growing at happy hours. We believe that restaurateurs will love the idea of us driving more business through their physical world doors during happy hours to have to sell drinks and beer and beverages, and to really use this time to actually do programming that's high quality, almost broadcast quality, that would be done to drive people to that venue here from across the planet, maybe in the same time zone, even so we can have multiple cities doing the same thing, locations here. We've been doing a little experiment with Duke's Powder House in Seattle, and they have several locations. But this is a great way to do. Thank God it's Friday events and all of that kind of stuff. And then we're going to go down to talking about our conversation series. We are planning a series of conversations on YouTube over Zoom, actually to YouTube Live and to Facebook Live and to other social media platforms to do the kind of conversations that we need to be having today, particularly now, to bring people together in ways that regular social media does not accomplish. Regular social media has become kind of echo chambers of people with the same points of view, but we're reaching out across the lines of people, across cultures, across generations, across market sectors, across the planet in really, really, really good ways. So I'm going to go up here and you can see what's going to spin out. If we're going to take the time here to talk to you about this, we believe that with the people, the front runners that we engage here, these are authors and front runners, people who are doing amazing work, that a world-class consulting practice will evolve out of this. New social ventures and rethinking of education. We're front runners, by what we do, we're actually rethinking education right now. And out of this will also spin off primetime interactive reality television. We've been working with our broadcast and filmmaking friends and letting them know what we're doing. And we'll bring them in to make some amazing program that it'll be so good it's over Netflix and the streaming platforms here. And more than just being entertainment, it'll be edutainment. It'll be entertaining, but it'll also be transformative in a timely way. That's not fake. That's not survival, competing with each other and trying to do each other in, and not The Apprentice. So enough said about that. So anyway, you can really see this is really kind of neat. We're going to go back here, and this gets us to, again, the virtual conferences and trade show services that we can provide. We're actually working on several ways. So if you have a favorite platform that you want to work with, but have us help you get there, we can do that. You can work with our platform, and you can also work with us over Verbella in case you become an avatar self and want to do that. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But then people are now starting to come to us for our instructional design services. Corporate e-learning is still leaves much to be desired. Uh, we, after developing ourselves as instructional designers, we actually had an opportunity to work for one of the world's largest ISPs, supporting 12 locations and and updating their files in both German and English. And they had all these Zoom rooms and all this. But what I learned is they didn't have the idea of how to engage their employees in ways that would keep them on the farm and avoid the costly employee churn that is still happening with companies. And so we're leveraging our background, our formal experience as educators in political science and ethnic studies in a now diverse world, and also our background in broadcast and public television distance learning. And our experience ever since there, and since 97, even then at the station, what got us smitten after doing this was teaching ourselves digital media and HTML and developing an early prototype for a web-based classroom. So once we did that, you couldn't keep us at the station. We grabbed the ring and ran with it and never looked back. And but we couldn't jump right into that. So we started developing websites and e-storefronts for 10 years until that market got soft and every Tom, Dick, and Harry could say, I can make a website. They couldn't succeed with it, but they could make one at least. That we essentially decided to jump back in and develop ourselves as instructional designers once the e-learning industry and marketplace had gotten more sophisticated and mature. When we were into it, it was very nascent here. But then when there were apps that developed and all these ways to learn and empower ourselves, we jumped in working with the entire e-learning technology smorgasbord of all these applications. And that wasn't enough. Then people asked us, well, what about LMS administration, learning management system, and then learning experience platforms. And so we've been working with all of the ones we could get a hold of, starting with Moodle, which was open source, and we did a Moodle LMS, and just so we can learn some of what this was about. We work with many of these platforms. There are new ones out. And this whole idea is really being transformed by AI assisted learning. And we started working with system level gamification and micro learning. But the biggest and most important, I think, and most powerful thing is learner co-authored social learning. Today's employees today's employee has been learning video since middle school and making videos themselves. But we found that when they came into working for these corporations with their top-down learning, they were bored to death and felt like they weren't really being respected because they knew a whole lot, but weren't being asked to co-create the kind of content that they had to watch and be tested on and all that kind of stuff. So there's a real opportunity here for doing co-authored social learning. And now that we have AI assistants and we have more people coming forward here, this is a great opportunity to work with a lot of freelance instructional designers from all over the planet now. They're not just white people anymore. They're from India and Pakistan and the Philippines and Africa and every continent and every island nation. And we plan to work with all of them here in terms of this. So you can really see the potential here by walking through the virtual door. Then people say, well, wait a minute, we still really believe a whole lot in physical world events. What can you do for us here? Well, we can do a heck of a lot for you here because we can do live event live streaming and it lets others instantly be there and delivers phenomenal advantage. What is the advantage here? Well, the advantage is if you do just a physical world event, you're in one location but not another. And so people who come, even only local people can afford to attend that if they and there are fewer people there. But if we actually make a hybrid world solution by actually including live streaming here, then you can even have people that are not even technologically enabled to just come to a meeting and then see that the other people are there remotely here on the screen. And so this adds a lot more value and gives you, you really, you can actually transform the whole organization. If organizations in the old way would have an instructional designer go to one location and do their thing and then to another one. Well, things are happening so fast. You need to improve that by possibly having multiple locations coming in physical world and being administered by a master instructional designer and people on the ground assistants to do some of the interventions here. So we can go on and on. Only a few years ago, in order to stream things, you would have to have a satellite uplink truck. When we were at KCTS, there's a satellite truck gathering dust kind of out in the back there. And there's and you'd have to have a team of professionals, camera people with 35 pound cameras that cost 30, 40, $50,000 up with big lenses and all that. And we don't need to do that now. We are actually working with our smartphones that have ability to do some amazing things in a very affordable and cost-effective ways, even with multiple nodes at the same event. So we can do even more for less using a smarter way of doing business. Then we get over finally to where we arrive at is global strategic partnership building. That's what we're really about. We're really here leveraging the whole enchilada of our e-learning services as part of 12-month campaigns to take full advantage of our entire suite and to build global strategic partnerships with people and organizations locally, regionally, and from across the planet. And this is getting even better because now with home HD TV sets, we can actually stream right into people's living rooms. We can actually stream into prison communities and, start to develop new ways to upcycle people once they come out, to, be more productive in the society gainfully as economic participants. And we think we can transform the world by our head and our hearts to do the things that we need to do. So this is giving you some idea here. And if you really want to know more about us, I want you to visit our website and can go to see our client list, uh, and see all the different market sector people that we've worked with in the past. That's government, small to medium business, and uh, large business enterprises and healthcare industry, the broadcast industry here in San Francisco. We did it here as well as here in the Pacific Northwest, and not for profits, climate justice ones. We've been working with a whole lot of people, and even in K through 12 higher education and international clientele. So we are here to serve you well, but we can only do it unless you call us. And so I'm going to stop my share here and offer for you to meet with us online. Visit our website, and I'll just take this. I'll give this back to Imani now. She can give you how to get a hold of us and how to even request a complimentary uh, online Zoom call with you and maybe key members of your team. So thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Art Johnson. And thank you for watching. If you like where we're going, then get in touch with us today. You can email us at support@newworldcom.com, and you can visit us at www.newworldcom.com and request a complimentary 30-minute consultation on our Contact Us page. We can do this together.